Hey guys, for this week's Glam chat, I'm going to show you an interview I did with Felicia Reed. We're focusing on money mindset, and I'm taking a little piece from my course, The Beauty Empire Blueprint. This is a little bit of a taste of what you can see if you did decide to take that course. So please watch me and Felicia as we talk about money mindset. Hi, Felicia. So good to see you.
Hi.
I'm excited that you're on with me. Me and Felicia met at a event where we were panelists and we're kind of instantly drawn to each other and have been friends ever since. Felicia, tell us a little bit about yourself. I have you on talking a little bit about mindset, particularly
Yeah.
money mindset. I just want everybody to kind of get to know you and hear a little bit about you.
I'm Felicia Reed, and I am a portrait photographer. I'm a mom of 2 boys, 19 and 25, and I'm a wife of 26 years almost this year. I did ultrasound for 15 years before this, so I wasn't always an entrepreneur. I loved what I did, and I worked in breast imaging, and I went to school and worked locally until, the age of 40 when I quit my job, and in 2016, I quit, and I decided to be a stay-at-home mom, and that didn't work out very well, but I was doing photography kinda on the side, and I just kind of had all of the skills, to do photography because I was just a mom with a camera just doing the thing, but then I found a mentor and I realized, well, I've got the skills, let me just lean into this business part of it and see what I could do, and then I kinda hit the ground running. I didn't know where it would take me. I didn't say I wanted to be a full-time photographer. I didn't say I wanted to be a mindset coach, but it's kind of been it me. That's all I do is I empower and lift people always, and it was just a natural thing that just came to me.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, always love to hear your story and we'll kind of get into a little bit more of it. But to start with questions, um, can we talk about money mindset and basically what that means, what it means to you and mindset in general?
Yeah.
Just to kind of give everybody an idea who maybe isn't even familiar
Yeah.
with mindset and how that works.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people kinda know mindset and they know what they've been told about it, but they don't really implement it. And
Sure.
mindset is just kind of your beliefs around about your beliefs about the world, the beliefs that you have about yourself,
Mhm.
and it's subconscious, and sometimes it's not something that we choose, it's something that is probably ingrained in us from birth, and the thing whenever it comes to mindset, which if any of you have small kids under the age of 7, this is, like, really important information, I didn't learn this till later, but our frontal brain is, like, open from 0 to age 7, and we are absorbing as kids, all of this information, how to walk, how to talk, what our parents are pouring into us, whatever you're dumping into them, and then after 7 years old, it's kinda locked in there, and then we carry on these beliefs about the world based on what we grew up with. But the beautiful thing about mindset is that you can have a level of awareness where you want to shift and it can change, but you have to want it to change. And then some of us don't understand and we don't know and we go about whether it's not just business, it's in relationships, how we have relationships with partners or family members, your relationship with yourself, self-love and self-care and limiting beliefs that we may have and we might be talking about ourselves. So mindset is a part of everything that we do. It's just having that level of awareness. Like I don't like this. If I'm on a hamster wheel in relationships, why am I keep getting abused by friends? Why am I abused by family? Why am I in this hamster wheel constantly? Why is this not working for me in business, but you keep doing the same thing over and over again? It should be like a light bulb to say, something's got to shift. I need help, and you will just want to start seeking something else, or someone out that can help you shift that.
Yeah, I love that because the course we're working on right now is for hairstylists, particularly those that are in commission positions, which means they have a boss, they're clocking in, somebody else chooses their hours and how much to pay them.
Yeah.
And we're basically teaching them how to switch from that to being an entrepreneur. And the hardest part about it is what if I don't make enough money? What if I'm not a good entrepreneur? And all this fear around it. And I think that has a lot to do with limiting beliefs about themselves. And so what do you have to say when somebody is just so concerned about where the money will come from when they're super talented and they have the
Yeah.
clientele and they're ready?
Well, I believe if God gives you the vision, he'll give you the provision, like, period. It's gonna
Yeah,
come.
love it.
But at the same time, how do you get out of that energy? And I would just tell people just as much as we can worry, Worry about what if it doesn't, what if it does, and what if it does? Why can't we positive worry? And why
Right.
can't we say, this is gonna work out because this is the vision that God has given me, and this is gonna work out because I have it in my heart. And we just have that inner knowing and that drive that's right in there, inside of us, and we know it's gonna work out. We don't have to know the how. And I think that people always want to know how. I didn't know
Right.
how any of this was gonna work. I
Oh,
was following, my intuition and my gut, and I looked for evidence. So, for example, if you're a hairstylist, look for evidence. You have Bex right here. She is evidence. She has an incredible story. Look for evidence that has worked for someone else. Look for the past. Look at your past lives and evidence in the past when you decided to go out and do something really hard, and how you had maybe the same kind of fear, but it all worked out, you know? And I think that sometimes we easily forget, especially I'm 47 years old. So I can look at my past and a lot of things in my life, and it seemed like it was going to kill me or break me or wasn't going to make it. And it actually did. And I think that we sometimes forget to look at that past evidence, that we've had in the future that it's going to work out. And fear is a good thing. There's like level one fear where that's keeping us protected. It's keeping
true.
us get on a swivel. And you got level two and level three fear that is just like, really, we're not being chased by a lion. Like this is not even real. And I think that if you just pray or just like really start searching for a level of awareness to know that, okay, I want to be this hairstylist. I'm going to be a solopreneur. This is put on my heart. And when these negative things come in, they're just kind of like little triggers for you to know that, okay, this is a lie. Anything that's taking you away from
Uh,
your point, where you're headed. And if it's trying to distract you, we need to understand these distractions are a lie. And you sit with yourself and journal, like, what is this about? Why is this coming
right.
up? Why am I scared? And just journaling, getting it out, and you'll realize on paper, like, this doesn't make any sense, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
and so I think having that kind of level of awareness to one, looking for evidence that it has been done and it can be done. And if they can do it, you can do it. And for
Absolutely.
me, whenever I want something, first you say, okay, I want to be a photographer. I want to be a hairstylist and I want to be an entrepreneur and make all this money, blah, blah, blah. You say that's what you want. And number two, you're going to start seeing evidence. It's called the reticular activating system. It's your part of your brain, and it's going to start showing you evidence that that is for you. And when you see someone like Bex that is winning and doing the dang thing, you go, that's for me. That's for me. Versus some people, they have kind of a jealousy or envy mentality, but that's not it. It's kind of like when you decide to go out and buy a car. I think you just bought a Porsche or something,
I
didn't
did.
you?
I did.
Okay. You probably said, I want a gray Porsche. I want this Porsche. I bet for a fact, I can guarantee a fact that you start seeing Porsches
I
everywhere
did.
because
And the
it's
colors
on
too.
your mind.
Yes. I love that.
Okay. It's called the reticular activating system
That's
because you decided you wanted it. And our brain is like, oh, I'm going to search that out. So if you decide also that nobody's going to pay you, that you're not going to win, you're not going to do this, your brain will start showing you the evidence that it's not going to happen either. So
right.
which one do you want?
Right.
Do
So you
you
can
want
either
to
choose
see what you want?
for the bad, and either way, you're gonna get whatever you choose.
You're gonna get whatever you want. It's like a boomerang. Whatever comes in your thoughts, whatever you feel, those kind of things. So sometimes it's not faking it till we make it. It's a way for us to train our brain that put what you want and know when you see the evidence right in front of you, that is just solidifying, okay, this is for me. That is for me.
I love that. Do you have any tools someone could use if they're really fighting off negative self-talk, or kind of those things that are inside that said, "Yeah, they did it, but I'm not good enough, or I'm not
Yeah.
talented enough, or I don't come from enough money," or whatever that might be
Yeah.
that keeps somebody from moving forward?
Yeah. So I have a really cool tool. And usually what it is just take a piece of paper. You have two columns on paper and you
Mhm.
have your negative belief on this side. Okay. This isn't for me, or they had a lot of money, whatever that negative belief is. And then on the other row of the column, I'm trying to talk.
You're
You're
doing
just,
great. You're doing great.
nobody's going to pay this kind of money for me. Okay. Then you decide, is this true? You
Mhm.
ask yourself, is this true? Yeah, do I wanna keep this or do I wanna, throw this in the trash?
I love that.
And you really sit with it for a minute. Is this true? Do I wanna keep this same thought process, or do I wanna just delete it and throw it in
Mhm.
the trash? And then you go down it, is this true? And then you can reframe it. You can if you wanna keep it, it's fine. Positively frame it, reframe it, like, yes, there are people that wanna pay me this kind of
Sure.
money. You know what I mean? Or yes, I've seen Bex do it, I could do it too. Yes,
Right.
it's rich people are good because if I have a lot of money, then I can help people because da 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 da. Da.
I love
You know what I
that.
mean? So you
Yeah.
can kind of positively reframe it. That's a great journal prompt. Another way is visualization. And we do it all the time, but I think people just don't think it's going to really work in business for whatever reason. But I kind of just the key is we can think all day, but if we don't have that thinking and that feeling isn't connected, it doesn't like if you say, "Oh, I'm so happy I love you," but you really don't love them. You know what I mean? Have you ever done that? I love you, but you really don't
Right.
love 'em, and you're just it's like, yeah. If you really connect the head to the heart and you're like, "Oh my god," in your visualization, "I feel how it is," how does it feel? How does it feel whenever you have, your let me see, let me think about, hairstylists. What do y'all have a week of clients or something? Like, how does
Yeah.
it feel when you have a week
Right.
of booking? What do you
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah.
What is that? What will you feel? Even if you don't have it right now, what will you feel? What will you hear when you have met that goal that week? Oh my God. Or, what will you hear? Oh my God, I hear like my bank account going ching or my
Yeah.
email going, style seat is like blowing up or maybe I will see like my client walking through the door with a big smile on her face and her hair all over her head and she's ready to be transformed. Or, what are you going to see? What are you going to feel? What are you going to hear? I'm going to hear, oh my God, Bex, you're like the most incredible hairstylist. I'm going to send you all my friend. Like, feel it, embody it, make it a habit, of just embodying that feeling because when you're in that kind of gratitude and feeling and visualization, there's no room for anything else. There's no room for lack, jealousy, competition, anxiety, depression. It can't exist. Love will cancel it out. And so I feel that if we're like pouring into that visualization piece, that's one thing. Journaling is another thing. Changing your beliefs and asking yourself, like, what do I believe about the world? Do
Mm.
you believe, like, for example, according to the world, we're in a recession.
Right.
According to Felicia's beliefs, is like, I hear you, but money's got to flow somewhere. So it's going to flow to
Right.
me.
Right. I love it.
Okay. It's got to go somewhere. Money's not going to just stop. So my belief
Sure.
is I hear what's happening in the world, but that's not my story. I don't know who's dealing with a recession, but it's not me. You know
Right.
what I mean? Or
Right.
I believe that clients want to spend a lot of money with me. I believe that I have something of great value
Mhm.
to my clients. I believe I was designed for a specific client and they're looking for me. I just have to be available for them to come, right? I have to show up so that they can find me. You know what I mean? And then what are your beliefs about the world? Do you believe that, money doesn't grow on trees because it got to grow somewhere? I think it grows on a tree and then they got to rip it off and then they got to make it like, I believe that. Like, and you have to check your beliefs about the world, check your beliefs about yourself, and then try some positive affirmations too. And that positive worry instead of negative worry. How can you split the script and be like, what if it does happen? And you can do that on a piece of paper. These are all the things that I'm worried about, and then just positively reframe them to
Sure.
what if everybody is looking for me? What if my seat is? What if I do win? What is, like those are some things that I do. And the number one thing more than anything that I can ever say is when negative things come in, all I'm gonna do is if I think, I made a mistake or there's no failure, there's just feedback. That's what I always say, put yourself out there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't mean it's not gonna work. I mean, come on, how long did it take 1,000 Einstein to try to make the light bulb 1,000 times? Like what if he saw it? What if he in the dark? You know what I mean? Like God is giving you this vision and it's gonna happen. So I would just be like, I would write down exactly what I wanted, and I would just go into gratitude and thank him in advance.
Mhm.
Thank God in advance or just give thanks in advance, thank you for what this is coming. And sometimes it's not even what's coming because we want so much more sometimes and we're not thankful for what we have. And people are
Sure.
like, I'm in business, but I'm like, please be grateful for the little so that you could have a lot.
Yeah. Somebody once told me, like, when you're in that moment where something is just, even if it's something small, is really going your way and you have like that really good feeling, to just you're like, oh my gosh, I want more of this. I want more. I want more. I want more. So that you can really settle into that feeling and ask for more of it and not,
Yes.
no details about how you're going to get it or why you have it. Just, I want more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always loved that thought. And so I do spend maybe as a gratitude, but there are times like just walking in the square with my daughter and we were having so much fun. She's 2 and
Yes.
was laughing and I just felt so good and it was sunny and I just thought, I want more. Not
Yeah.
necessarily of this exact moment, but just of this feeling of
Feeling. Yes.
feeling safe and happy and she's happy and we're together and I'm calm and I have no anxiety. I just want more of this. And so
Exactly, that's a good one, yep.
like that.
Feeling the feeling, that feeling is what like cancels out everything. And it's a
Sure.
good feeling and people discount the feelings, but I'm a living, breathing testimony of
Right. Are you comfortable sharing a little bit more of your story and journey with us?
oh, my recent journey. Oh yeah, I don't mind sharing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021. And but the funny thing is like I actually had received my certified mindset coaching certification in December of 2021, and then I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Right.
And it was an incredible journey to me. I don't have anything really negative to say about it aside I got curly hair out of it
Yeah.
and
Which I love your curly hair, by the way. I know we fight about that, but I'm like,
I mean, yeah, but still, you're
okay.
fabulous. Do you see cancer patients come in with curly
Yeah.
hair?
Yeah, it changes all the time. Texture changes. Yeah, it just like complete different color, different, I mean, just different hair. Yep. I
That
love
is me, but yeah, and so I decided so even to go backwards, I worked in, ultrasound and I would, help diagnose the breast cancer
that.
patients, and I observed some things, like a good prognosis, meaning they were gonna live, it's just
Mhm.
fine, it was the best cancer to have, but if they had a negative mindset, they would spiral down and be sick. Or you would give someone a horrible prognosis, meaning they're gonna die in 6 months or whatever, but they decide, "Okay, I'm gonna die in 6 months, but I'm not gonna live like I'm gonna die in 6 months. I'm gonna live, I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna be whatever," and they live longer. And so, because I observed so much of that, I decided you have the decision. Life deals you different circumstances, and sometimes we can't control that. I couldn't give cancer back. So I decided, well, you know what? I'm gonna look at this positively, and I'm not gonna claim it. I was healthy when I had my mammogram. I'm gonna be healthy through this whole thing. I'm gonna let them change my oil, whatever they gotta do. I'm gonna let them give me my vitamins. I called it my vitamins, and I educated my doctor. I was like, "I'm not a cancer patient. I'm not going to your cancer meetups because I don't relate to that, and I need to do what I gotta do in order for me to survive. So I need
Right.
you to play along with it and don't depress me with your depressing things." You
Right.
know? And
Right.
so I did 12 weeks of chemo, January of last year to March, and I did well. I was never sick. I think I had an upset stomach twice, but I worked, a third of the time. I was building a studio. I purchased a building, and I was building a studio. Most people, if they got a cancer diagnosis, they'd be like, "I'm shutting it all down," and I'm like, "I'm going because I could die tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
let's do this," you know? And I started online course, really leaning into the coaching and start coaching photographers, and it was beautiful because God gave me that time. I was 5 hours in a chair, and I was just like, "Alright, well, I'm studying, I'm reading, whatever." And so, it was an incredible experience, and it's mindset, and my doctors would tell me, like, "Your labs always look good, you're not immunocompromised," and I was like,
I told
"My
you I'm not gonna be sick.
mindset."
Yeah.
I would had the first surgery I had was in May of last year, and it was a mastectomy, and it set me down for a little while, like about 4 weeks, and then throughout the rest of the year, I had 3 more surgeries, and so I'd have a surgery, be off 2 weeks, go back to work, have another surgery, be off 2 weeks, go back, and they're like, "You're a beast." I was like,
Yeah.
it's just me. So I know for a fact that my mindset after cancer diagnosis, what I believed about the world, what I believed about myself,
Yeah.
what I believed about my body, all of those things, it worked out and I was able to be successful in business. I was able to be successful in life. I was allowed to just like sit down and be in that feminine energy and allow people to take care of me.
Right.
And I knew if I could do that, there's no fear for me about anything.
Right.
I'm not scared of death, I'm afraid of not living, at the end of the day, and so that pushes me and it motivates me, and sometimes I hear people's complaint and I'm like, Did you have cancer?" Like,
Right.
"Yes, yeah,
I
okay."
love that, and it's so
Wasn't
inspiring, and it really, like, just on your journey with mindset, it just goes to
Yeah,
show how just having positive thoughts and feelings around it. I know you can't control everything, but you can control the way you feel when you're in it
yeah,
and what
exactly,
choices you make.
yeah,
Yeah. That's great.
exactly.
Well, I always find that so inspiring. I think a lot of people will really truly be inspired by,
Mhm.
having something that it can be very it's
Yeah,
absolutely devastating
yeah,
to get that,
yeah.
to hear that, to
Oh, it was sickening. The first couple of weeks I was sick, but after
oh,
that I
yeah.
got
Yeah, I mean, it's devastating, but then to say, "You know what? I'm moving forward. I'm not, this is not gonna completely overtake me, and I'm gonna continue on my journey," and I think it's a good example for anyone going through a struggle, whatever that might be, to
yeah,
move forward, push through, take the time you need to mourn, be sad, and then keep moving forward. Don't let those things hold you back. So I
yeah.
love that. I love hearing that story. I think I've told you this before, but I talk a lot about my fitness studio. I opened Star Cycle. I opened a indoor cycling studio 2 months before March. I mean, I opened it in January of 2020. So, like, sunk like $500,000 into a build out, like, this is gonna work, fitness, and then in
Mhm.
March 2020, we're shut down, and where's the scariest place you can be? In a gym. And here I am, the gym owner, and, we hung in there for 2 years, we didn't do bad, but I feel like the world changed so much that in that 2 years, I think what we were giving is not what people wanted, um
Mhm.
and it was pretty financially devastating,
Oh, yeah.
you know, but what I did was I said, "Okay, we've sunk this money into it. I'm gonna use everything I learned going through a franchise model, opening a business, doing it step by step, signing leases, and I'm gonna open more salons." And so while I was closing Star Cycle, I opened 6 additional salons and created systems using everything I had learned. And now I look at it as honestly, I don't know if I would have opened additional salons at that speed if I hadn't have done it. And I would have made a lot more mistakes. So I'm like, that's my MBA. That
Yeah.
was master's degree in business was going through that experience, closing that.
You had to. I feel that you had to in order to be where you were supposed to be. Like,
Yeah,
you looked at it, maybe as a failure at some point, but to
sure,
me, that was like the fuel that you needed. Like, that's
sure.
what you needed. And sometimes it just seems like circumstances and things happen to us, and it's like, why did this happen to us? But why? This is why it
Right.
happened to
To
you.
learn. And at first I was a little bit ashamed to close. Like I'm this big entrepreneur business owner and I'm closing a business. Oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
really it was like, no, I'm an entrepreneur and a business owner, and I'm brave enough to know when I should close a business to make room for something else. And that's what I did.
You made room, baby.
Yeah.
You
For
made
a
room
lot.
for a
So
lot of people, and that's what people don't understand is, like, if you don't step into your purpose like
right.
that, you're responsible because you went with your purpose, you help employ other people, now they can help their families, like, it's just
Right.
constantly giving, 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 giving. You know, it's just empowering another woman to empower another person to help
Right.
building them up, and you're still constantly figuring out ways to build up, newer entrepreneurs or newer, salon owners
Yeah.
and stuff. I think it's a beautiful thing, and we're responsible. Like, if we don't succumb to our purpose, and we're not like
Oh,
locked into it, we're supposed to change so many people's lives, not just ours. We're supposed to change our clients. We're supposed to help employ other people. There's just so many other things that it's much bigger than what we can see with our own little minds.
right. And tell our story so that
Yeah.
people, it's okay to take a leap of faith and have it work for a little while or not work. And learn a ton from it and start over. That's
Yeah.
what my big lesson was. It's like, it's okay. It's all gonna be okay. Like that commission job or whatever it is, that corporate job,
Exactly.
it'll be waiting for you. You
Yeah.
can take a big chance and go back to it. And most
Yeah.
people never go back. They just find
Yeah.
new adventures to go on after they leave them.
Exactly. I love it.
I love it. Let's see. Um, so what do you think, and this might be a hard question to answer, but maybe misconceptions around money that
Mm.
exist that really hold people back, or any that you can think of or that you've seen maybe in clients or when you're
Yeah.
coaching?
One of the big ones is that rich people are bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's a self-sabotaging thing because then they will remember whatever you say, whatever you think, you will create it. Like you will create circle. If you feel that rich people are bad, you will always like create a space where you won't get rich. Like you just won't, or you won't make the money because you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that. It's too much responsibility. Rich people are
Sure.
bad, this and that. And it's kind of like, money just makes you more of who you are.
It
If you're
does.
bad, you'll be a rich bad person. If you're a good person, you'll be a rich good person.
And have more to give to others and
And
more
more yes,
opportunities to make. Yeah, absolutely.
yes. And I think that's a big one. And you see the evidence all the time with lottery winners, how they get the money and they lose it because they never did the inner work. They never did the inner work on how to keep it. And so they probably just didn't have the money sense. So that's one of the big things about money. Another big thing about money is oh God, it just skipped my brain. Another misconception about money is, for example, debt. Around debt. There can be good debt, and I mean there can be bad debt. But to me, the way that you look at, okay, something is too expensive and I don't want to invest in that. that's a broke mindset. That's too expensive.
Right.
I said, if you're arguing about money with your spouse or with a friend or anybody, that's a negative energy. And I think that we need to realize when we open our mouth about money, we better be very cautious of what comes out.
Well,
Because if we're always arguing in that's an energy. And
sure.
so you're putting that energy out and you're going to get more to argue about. You're going to get more bills. You're going to get more things. So if you just flip the script, there's a way that you could just benignly, like, we're just not going to have this conversation about money right now. I'm not going to argue about it until we can come back and like talk about this. Two, whenever it comes to bills, is you go back to gratitude. I literally will get a bill. You get a bill from Discover Card. I don't know what
You got it right there.
you look at it. It's not a Discover Card. It's like creating achievable outcomes.
Sure, sure.
But you go, okay, Discover, thank you, Discover Card. Because like they gave me,
Sure. They
right?
will do
And
this.
then you look at that and
Sure,
are like, okay, this past week I was at a seminar, I spent like $10,000.
sure.
So I go, wow, thank you, Discover Card. I was able to buy that new backdrop because I'm going to use it on the breast cancer patients next week. Oh my God. Thank you, Discover Card, that I could buy that dress for this new maternity client that lost her baby, but now she's able to do like I just flip the script on everything and I look at this and I just thank Discover Card or American Express. And
Sure.
or if you're paying your light bill, it's like, thank you, Ambit, for, keeping my lights on for the people back there working. Like if I didn't have the credit card, I mean, if I didn't have, if I didn't have the credit card and the credit, I probably wouldn't have just went on a shopping spree whim and bought the $10,000 worth of stuff. You never know. Or if I had the credit card, maybe I wouldn't have been able to invest in a coach. I was like, hey, I can't afford this, but Discover Card's going to give me this money right now, and I can pay it off, and I have a month to, make up the money. Like you're just flipping the script on how you look at things, and the energy that I think that's the misconception people have around money, that money is bad when money is just energy.
Sure.
Money is just energy. At the end of the day, whatever service you give incredible hair service, incredible, whatever highlights, blah, blah, blah. Money is just an exchange. It's just an exchange. You gave me incredible service. I'm paying you for this. And that money's going to be used for you to give to another person that's giving you incredible service.
Sure.
It's just an exchange. It's just energy. And sometimes abundance, it isn't all about money. Sometimes it's about being in the energy of abundance means the right things are happening to you. The great things are happening to me. The right people are coming my way. Blessings are chasing me down, like those kind of
Right. And the money comes because you're in the
opportunities.
right energy.
Yes, opportunities are seeking me out. Like, and I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm meeting the right people. Like, I think I was in that energy. I got to meet you. I got to meet some other incredible people because I was in that energy. Imagine that day when you met me and I was in a funk and maybe I was talking about I probably wouldn't even been able to receive
Sure.
your energy. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been
Right.
like, you probably would have been like, oh, I want to talk to her.
Or
You know, like,
influencing all the women in that room
yeah,
who we needed to give to. You can't
yeah.
give when you're so
You
at
can't give when
a
you're, yeah.
bad place or
And so I think that's the negative thing is that people just, money is just energy. Like at the end of the day, sometimes I don't even have to exchange. I don't need the money for some things because God is just going to bring it to me with that abundance energy. He just brings it's people like we're always looking for money, which okay, this is the number one tip. Don't look for money, look for people to serve. The money will come.
right. I love that.
Don't look for money because that's stressful. It can be very stressful if you just think about money. But how can I serve this person? How can I transfer? And you just got one client in your chair. Oh, baby, that client gets like VIP, everything, pour everything, all your love. She will go tell 10 more people.
Yeah. Yeah. I always believe that when you really get from a place of love and you do it
Yes.
because you are genuinely passionate about it, the money or the abundance comes tenfold.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
When you're taking care of people. That's great. Yeah. Just meeting you, you connected me with my course builders. You've given me all these. I mean, that's really what it is these connections you make when you're in a great place and whenever you're willing to receive it without being like, oh, I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't build a course. I don't know if I have any good information and how
Yeah.
much time is that going to take? And it's probably expensive. Those
Yeah.
that just holds me back. And whenever finally I'm like, you know what? I can do
Yeah.
this. I watched Felicia do it. She was amazing at it. Let's go. It
Yeah.
really I just opened the doors and added value. So I
And I
think
talked about that, today on my Instagram live, I talked about leading with the impression of increase.
Mhm.
And that means like when someone's in your presence, when they leave with added more value than what they came in with. They're more
Yes.
empowered in some kind of way. And to me, and that looks like many, many different things, whether I'm paying for their groceries or whether I'm sharing an incredible book or sharing an incredible referral for you. Like, how do I lead with an impression of increase and just empower you? And trust me, it comes back to me tenfold.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I love that. Well, we're already running out of time. That felt like that flew by. Is there any final thoughts you really want to leave us with, or um, just any advice? I mean, you've given us so much, but anything that's special or on your heart that you could leave us with?
I would say whenever as becoming an entrepreneur is like the basic of all abundance. We can't think about money, we think about abundance. The basic for me is identity. Work on your identity on who this businesswoman that you want to become.
Mhm.
So if you're deciding I want to do this, I want to be my own boss, I want to do my own thing. Well, sit down with yourself with a journal and say, what is it that, how much money do I want to wait? Write what you want down, right? What you want. Don't write what you don't want. Don't write the people you don't want. Don't talk about the clients you don't want.
Yeah, I think it's
Whatever you write down, it has to be what you want. I need people to get out of the energy of putting what I don't want. Write what you want because you will attract exactly what you speak. Okay. There's power in your words. So focus on the identity of what this boss lady does. Who does she hang out with?
sure.
What does she say about herself? Even though and maybe I'm tearing myself apart right now, but what is the most successful version of me? What is she saying about herself? Who does she hang around with? How much money does she make? How much is in her bank account? What is her every day? How does she feel most of the time during the day? What does she hear? What kind of music is she listening to? How does she dress? How does her hair look? What are her friend circles like? Because as we level up, y'all, we gotta get rid of people. You
Yeah,
gotta get rid of people. It's
that's
gonna be
the hard
hard, but
part.
you got to.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother topic we can go on. But, like, think about your environment and write down exactly what you want. And then the next piece of paper, start being grateful for what you have.
yeah, I love that.
You
That's
We
just
can have our goals of what we want, but let's be grateful for what we have and what we've had in the past. And then we know what we're working towards. So I feel that always identity and gratitude because it starts with you. You can't make any habits, any any habits or change, rituals and stuff if you still don't feel that you're worthy to have something, incredible. So you have to work on yourself. And then once you get your goal right and your identity right, then we start creating the habits of that successful person.
oh, I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. That's such amazing advice for to everyone moving into like really changing who they are to become an entrepreneur. And so, and just in life in general, whatever it might be, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, tell us how we can find you. For you, those of you who don't follow Felicia, she's an incredible photographer here in Austin. If you're doing any type of photo shoot, branding, she does have specialties she works on, but her work is absolutely stunning. Reach out to her. Tell us where to find you.
I'm on Instagram under Felicia Reed Photography. You can find me on my name is Felicia Reed, REED.com. So you can that's my website, my name,
And we'll
FeliciaReed.com.
drop that below in the notes so you'll be able to find her.
Um, Facebook, Felicia Reed Photography. Just Google Felicia Reed, Instagram, Felicia Reed Photography, Pinterest, Felicia Reed Photography.
I love it. You guys are gonna love it. Go find it right now. We're so excited to talk to you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with me today. And I can't wait for everybody to hear what you have to say. Felicia also offers courses, so another thing to look into if you want to hear more.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Felicia. It was so good to talk to you, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.